Paul said to his dear loved ones in Philippi, however it's pronounced, the Philippians, I know how to live in humble circumstances, and I know how to live with abundance in every circumstance, and in all things I have learned the secret of being well fed and going hungry, of living in abundance and of being in need. Here's the secret. I can do all things in Him who strengthens me. And I say that. I can do all things in Him who strengthens me. With Christ, I can live in abundance, and I've been so blessed in my life. With Christ, I can live in crisis and in sickness, and I have been so blessed in my life. I've learned the secret. I can do all things in Jesus, who strengthens me. So can you. Paul got the invite to the banquet, and he went and he ate of the banquet of God through his faith in Jesus. And so when things were going well for him, that's great, all the more. When things were really difficult for him, it's okay. I know the secret. I know where the strength comes from. But he says, nevertheless, thank you for supplying me with something to eat. Don't get it wrong. I'd rather eat, okay? I shall live in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, everybody. I mean, I'm in Him. He's in me. And He wants this for all of us. He gives it to us. We can witness to it. But sometimes we don't quite experience it. We can't quite say, behold our God, to whom we look and saved us. Let us rejoice and be glad that He has saved us. Sometimes we can't quite say that. And I've been praying about why. What is it? Well, being from my particular ethnic background, I would like to compare this to an Italian dinner. Since Jesus talked about a king and a wedding feast. And everything's wonderful and good. Okay, so I go to dinner and there's a wonderful salad and there's an antipasto and there is then all kinds of good meat to eat. And they bring out the pasta too. And you think it's over. And then there's another meat. And then, this is not dessert, there's fruit. Wonderful, perfect fruit. When I went to Italy, I can't believe it. It's just wonderful the way they do it. And then if that's not enough, you got dessert coming. Okay, now I'm not a person that likes the dessert the most. I'm the meatball and Italian sausage guy, okay? But dessert's nice too. Why, though, don't people completely appreciate life? They wait for the dessert and don't really enjoy the meal. In fact, they want to skip some of the meal and are dependent on that pie or that cake. Well, if it's Italian, tiramisu. They're waiting for that. For us, this is how I believe we live life. We're dependent too much on the dessert. And we miss the meal. You know, if you've got a whole banquet to eat, and it's wonderful, I can do without the dessert. It's nice to have it, but I can do without the dessert because I have the meal. How do most people live? They're dependent. I'm having a good day or a bad day. I'm having a good depends on if the pie is good, if the dessert is good. That's how most humans live. We depend on the dessert, which is a gift from God. But we're not taking advantage of the banquet. What's the banquet for you and for me, everybody? It's the fullness of God coming to us. But we don't take advantage of it. Not all the time. I know some of us do. And I'll talk to holy people that are at peace. They're just ready to go home to God. But you know how it is with most of us? Here's a sign that we're not really dependent living for God. When most people talk about heaven, what can't they wait to have? They can't wait to have all my friends back together, all my family. Can't wait to be playing golf forever. Or whatever you like. All your favorite foods and all that. You know what I never hear? God. I can't wait to see God. I never have heard anybody say that. In fact, the church teaches us heaven's not really a place. God's here. God is the banquet. But I don't want God as long as you're there and we can play golf. Well, I guess I can see my dog again. Don't get me wrong, just like the pie. I don't mind the pie. I want to see my dog again. That's not it, everybody. It's God. I think we're missing the invitation because we don't really believe it's heaven now. And as St. Teresa once said, it's heaven all the way to heaven. So what does that mean practically now? For one thing, it's believing nothing will ultimately satisfy you, even though all these things, friends, family, fun times, everything that we're partially deprived of this year, all those things are the dessert. They're all blessings from God, but nothing can satisfy the human heart of God alone. I need to long for God. That's accepting the invitation. It's seeking God. It's wanting God. It's praying every day, longing for Him, seeking for Him, coming to church and giving myself, not coming to get something, coming to give myself to God that I may be open to receiving Him, following His commands, growing in virtue, making an honest confession of my sins. It's that living where it's really true to the heart. That's where I accept the invitation to the banquet that starts even now. But if my desire is really, I'm going to wait for the dessert, like some people do. You know, I've been guilty of that at times too. Pie really looks good. Let's just taste a little bit of it because I'm hungry and I don't want to wait for the main meal. And what do many moms say? Don't eat that, it'll spoil your dinner, right? And God's saying the same thing. Don't put your heart so much into the gifts of this world because you're spoiling your appetite for the main thing, who is God Himself. And so that's why even back then Jesus told this story. The feast is ready. Unfortunately, those who were invited were not worthy of it. Go out, get everybody you can. He still does that. Any of us who are at least been open, good and bad, alike. If our hearts would just be sincerely seeking Him in our faith. Oh God, may we hear, receive, and take advantage of the feast in the main course, the banquet of your very self, your very life, which we've already tasted